Yo, what's going on guys, X2 Flair here and welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we've got the UCL Fantasy First Draft Team Selection. And before we get into the video guys, we have set a goal of 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I know it's a big ask, but you guys have been absolutely destroying it recently. So if we hit that goal, we're going to be releasing an IRL video of us scoring some absolute bangers. So if you want to see that, hit subscribe. With that being said, let's get straight into the video. So taking a look at the first team selection for the UCL Fantasy season, in goals we have gone with Wojciech Szczesny and Edouard Mendy. Szczesny is coming in at £5.5 million with a low 8% ownership. He played 7 games last UCL season for a total of 24 points. Last UCL he had 2 clean sheets and 16 saves, picking up 3 bonus points. This season's group opponents include Dynamo Kiev, Barca and Ferencvaros. Barca is obviously a tricky opposition, but the other two look very promising for Juve to keep some clean sheets, so hopefully Wojciech Szczesny can make a good start to the season. And to accompany Wojciech Szczesny, we've gone with Edouard Mendy. We are going to be rotating them around just to give them the highest chance of getting those clean sheet points. Edouard Mendy is coming in at £5 million at a low 7% ownership. He hasn't played any Champions League games last season, but he got 6 FPL points on debut with a clean sheet. And as I said, I'm going to be rotating between Mendy and Szczesny, so when Szczesny has Barca, I'm going to be playing Mendy, and their fixtures rotate very nicely. Mendy's opponents in his group include Sevilla, Krasnodar and Stade Rennais, so these are some easy fixtures as well, so hopefully he can get his clean sheet points. So now to kick off the defence, we've gone with Trent Alexander-Arnold from Liverpool. He's coming in at £6.5 million with a modest ownership of 18%. He played 7 games last UCL with a total of 23 points. Now obviously it wasn't Liverpool's best Champions League season last year, so I'd be backing them in to score better this season. Trent Alexander-Arnold only picked up 1 clean sheet and 1 assist last UCL season, but with the group opponents of Ajax, Midfield and Atalanta, I'd back him in to get some more clean sheet points and potentially some attacking returns this season. So the next defender in the team is Alphonso Davies from Bayern. He's coming in at £6 million with a very high 40% ownership. He played 8 games last UCL for a total of 44 points. He had a whopping 5 clean sheets and 4 assists as Bayern absolutely tore up the competition last season. His group opponents include Atletico, Lokomotiv Moscow and Salzburg, which is another decent group apart from Atletico, but I wouldn't be surprised if Bayern can keep a clean sheet against them. So the third defender in this team is Ben Chilwell from Chelsea. Coming in at £5.5 million with a 12% ownership, he scored a total of 18 FPL points on debut. He obviously hasn't played any Champions League yet, but on his debut for Chelsea he got a goal, an assist and a clean sheet and looks like a very nice attacking option that can have in defence. He's also got a nice group with Sevilla, Krasnodar and Rennais, so I'd be backing him in to get some clean sheets and attacking returns throughout the group stage. And to cap off the defence, we've gone with Jules Koundé from Sevilla. Coming in at the minimum price of £4 million, it's a great way to sneak into Sevilla's starting lineup as he is a consistent starter for them. He's coming in at a very high 29% ownership, but since he's such a good aerial threat from corners and he's already recorded 1 clean sheet in 3 games in the La Liga, I'll be backing him in to score nicely with his group opponents being Chelsea, Krasnodar and Stade Rennais. Now moving on to the midfield, we've gone with 4 midfielders, starting off with Mo Salah. He's coming in at £11.5 million as one of the premium options in midfield this season. With a 14% ownership, he played 9 games last UCL season for a total of 45 points. He picked up 4 goals, 2 assists and 1 clean sheet, and I think he'd be a good player to start off the season with Ajax, Midfield and Atalanta as his group opponents. So the second midfielder in the team is Ansu Fati from Barcelona. The Barca wonder kid is coming in at £8 million with a very high 34% ownership. He had 2 games last UCL for a total of 10 points as he scored a goal. Now he's a starter for Barcelona as he's developed a lot and he's positioned as a midfielder but plays on the left wing for Barca, so that is a nice value option in terms of the goal points. His group opponents include Dynamo Kiev, Juventus and Ferencvaros, which is a nice group apart from Juve, but since he's such an attacking player I wouldn't be surprised if he can score against all 3 opponents. So moving on to Phil Foden from Man City. He's coming in at £7 million with a low 7% ownership. He only played 3 games last UCL season for a total of 23 points as he recorded 2 goals and 2 assists. Obviously, Phil Foden has developed a lot this season and is getting a few more games in Man City's side, so hopefully with a bit of rotation in the Champions League, he can play a few games for them. His group opponents include Porto, Marseille and Olympiacos, which is hopefully a group in which Man City can absolutely beast and feast. I wouldn't be surprised if Phil Foden can put together a very nice group stage. And to cap off the midfield, we've gone with Wilmar Barrios from Zenit. Coming in at a very low £4.5 million, he is one of the most owned players in the UCL Fantasy this season with a 48% ownership. He played 6 games last UCL season for a total of 25 points. He's a consistent starter for Zenit playing CDM, but the best part is that he's on corners and set pieces, which provides so many assists for him. With his group opponents being Club Brugge, Dortmund and Lazio, it could be a nice opportunity to sneak in some cheeky points with Wilmar Barrios. So now moving on to the forward line, it starts off with Robert Lewandowski from Bayern. He's coming in at £12 million with a whopping 47% ownership. He played 10 games last UCL season for a whopping total of 104 points, making him the highest scoring player last season. He had a record 15 goals and 6 assists, which is absolutely outstanding, and with the group opponents of Atletico, Lokomotiv Moscow and Salzburg, I would definitely back him in to score some more goals and assists in the group stage. And to cap off the team, we've gone with Gabriel Jesus from Man City. He's coming in at £9.5 million with a low ownership of 2%. He played 7 games last UCL season for a total of 47 points, placing him amongst the top scorers for forwards last season. He recorded 6 goals and 3 assists. He might be up for rotation with Aguero coming back into the side, but hopefully City play 2 up top so he gets good game time. And with the group opponents of Porto, Marseille and Olympiacos, I back him in to score some big goals if he can start for Man City. And initially we've got on the bench Edouard Mendy, Felipe de Ketelaere and Lassina Traore. So that's all I've got for today, guys, for the UCL Fantasy first draft team selection. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a like and subscribe, and leave a comment whether or not you guys are going to be playing UCL Fantasy this season and who you guys have selected. With that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one.